you doing?
I'm doing excellent. I was actually there last night at the cast and crew little thing, at the hotel. What was it like actually to see everybody again? Because I would imagine it's been a little while.
It's been a little while, a couple of months. So we finished season 6 in May. So it's not been a long time, but obviously these so-called Fab Five, every time we see each other, we're like, oh, it's like we're seeing our family. We are a family. We bonded so well from day one that no matter what, I think 10 years from now, 20 years from now, just like friends, every time we see each other, we're ever so happy to have the opportunity and the chance to see each other again. Yeah.
I'm curious, if someone has actually never seen anything that you've been in, what is the first thing you want them watching and why?
If they haven't seen anything, I would definitely suggest, in terms of what's happening in today's world, I would definitely suggest House of Sand and Fog. But if they are sort of highly educated, as they call them, nerds, or people who are interested in what's going to happen in the future, the people who have invested or studying the picture in the future of the humanity. And then I would suggest Expanse, the Expanse, because this is the best example of today's world. By the way, Expanse has never been this close to reality before than this year. This year is just, when we started, they said, well, this takes place in a couple of hundred years from now. In the course of 7 years, it has become the story of today. I mean, think of the proto molecule. Think of the hostage, the refugees crisis. Think of some politicians trying to make alliances. I mean, I watch this and then I watch the news and I don't see the difference between them. It's like Expanse speaks for today's world, not 200 years from now.
Oh, believe me, The Expanse is one of my favorite shows on TV, which is why I'm very happy to be talking to all of you today.
Yeah.
So I just want to start going further. I really do want to give a thank you to Amazon for saving the show and for putting it on for multiple years. And so I guess I'm curious, when you need to buy something now, do you feel an obligation to buy it on Amazon?
Yes. The answer is yes. Not only that, but also I got myself an Amazon credit card to show my loyalty and yes, of course, it's inevitable. You can't help it. I'm like, if I can buy it on Amazon, I would buy it on Amazon. Well, because day one, when we started the show, I was hoping that the show would fly and would be shown to the people of the world. And when Amazon picked us up, I was ever so thankful and grateful to Amazon for the fact that this show is about the people of the world. It's not about a certain nation. Therefore, it should have been shown to the people of the world. But I'm glad that Amazon stepped in pretty early and was with us to the end. Yes, I'm grateful to them too.
Yeah, I am too. I actually think I'm willing to bet that Jeff Bezos watches the show just because of his interest in space. I'm willing to wager he was instrumental in in why it's still on the air.
Yeah.
So I don't want to ask anything generic, but I've seen the final season. I know I can't spoil anything. What are you actually allowed to tease about what's coming in the final 6 episodes?
Well, it's the final is what I love about the final is that decisions are more thoroughly thought of rather than being rushed into. Everybody is trying to be more careful, and approaches are different this year. Even Avasarala is looking for a diplomatic way to solve problems rather than rushing into a decision or going to war. It started in season 5 when she resigned and decided to leave the table, and when everybody was willing to go to another war. As of then, she's been sort of being more careful, more towards diplomacy than fighting with one another, forming alliances. And
Yeah,
I love that. I wish
well,
it could happen in real world.
Well, I was going to say it has to be like great as an actor to play someone who's gone from this side of the spectrum all the way over here, who's learned over these years to, you know, the repercussions, if you will, of the act. Anyway, it must be really great for you.
It was amazing. And let's not forget that I was aging at the same time that Avasarala was aging. So I went through the same thing. You're not that old yet, and not my age to be to fully fathom that what happens when you age, when you grow older. Your point of view changes. It becomes more sort of on the side of I'm trying to understand what is happening rather than I do understand what's happening and I have a solution for it. No, it's not like that anymore.
One of the things, you obviously have some great stuff with Bobby this season, and the relationship between the two characters is, I really love it, and fans do as well. Can you sort of talk about the relationship with Bobby this season and how it's changed or grown?
What I love about Avasarala's relationship with Bobby this season is the fact that they have sorted out their issues, the issues that they had with one another from the very beginning. Obviously, they both come from different societies, different upbringing, different everything. But Avasarala, the reason Avasarala likes Bobby so much is because she sees a bit of herself in Avasarala when Avasarala was that age. That's why she loved to recruit her, and she did her best to bring Bobby to her side. And for Bobby, it was always the issue of trust. Should I trust this woman? She's being famous for being manipulative, well, I'm glad that finally we could sort that out. Because the trust issue is very important when people want to help one another or back each other up. They need to trust one another.
I'm curious for you, after spending this many years playing the character and making the series, what was it actually like? How did you get the last script for episode 6? Did you guys read it together as a group, or was it a table read? What was it like actually reading that? Because it's the culmination of everything.
Well, it's interesting. Great question. I didn't read it. And year 1, Steven suggested, Steven Strait, that if we're not doing anything, because we were all alone, living alone in Toronto, home away from home, he said, if you guys are not doing on Sundays, why don't we get together and read through the next episode? And we all said, that's a great idea. 6 years of that, we kept doing that, which I'm going to miss a lot. And season 1, when the last episode came, I said, I'm not going to read it. I'm going to read it with the kids on Sunday. And on Sunday, you could hear each other going, yes. We could see, we were all emotional, but I read it with them. And immediately I fell in love with it. I thought, wow, they have done, because we were all worried about the very last episode. And we were hoping that it would be, larger than life, above everything else that we'd done before. And they, once again, our brilliant writers proved to us that, yes, it is. The end is just incredible. And we all sat there usually after readings, we will all go home or go have something to eat. But we all sat there, and there was for a while, there was silence in the room, and we were all thinking, trying to take it in that this is the last one.
Yeah, you also have some good stuff in the last episode. So, there's, I can't talk about it, but I'm just going to I'm going to say you have some good stuff. What was it actually like for you? Now, there's one thing about reading that script, but what was it like actually, like what was your last day of filming like? And did you possibly borrow anything extra from set that day, knowing it was your last day?
Not that day, but a month before, I took a candelabra, small one, from the set. And I told everyone, I said, I'm taking this. I'm not stealing it. I'm taking it. But John Hanson, our amazing costume designer, was kind enough to give me a few of my costumes, which I love and adore. And I would love to share two of them with the museums. Whoever asks for it first will get it.
Yeah, your costumes on the show are really, I'm going to use the term fantastic.
You're absolutely right. Fantastic. She did an amazing job.
Oh, 100%. Who do you think, there's always people behind the scenes that don't get enough credit on the making of a show like this. Who do you think is like an unsung hero that someone needs to be, you know what I mean? Like someone that you want to sort of single out and say they deserve some credit?
Honestly, is the curators of the show, Mark Ferguson and Hawk Ostby. They started it. When Hawk Ostby called me and told me about this character, and I didn't have time to read it. It wasn't ready for me to read. He just told me who this character was, and what they did, their perseverance, they never gave up. They did everything they had in their power to make it possible for us to make this season. And season one, they were with us, but then they were so busy, obviously. They're such an amazing writers. They're the writers of Iron Man and Children of Men. So you can imagine they couldn't spend a lot of time with us after the first season. But I think those are the ones that we haven't seen enough in our later sort of seasons, which I would love to thank and tell them that how grateful I am to them for having me on this show.
Oh, and I'm grateful for them also for making it. What do you actually think you're going to miss the most about playing this character?
The writers. I wish I had those writers who would write for me in my daily, life. Honestly, sometimes people, say something or, with families, UK, Tehran, Iran, whatever. I'm on the phone. They say something and I'm bewildered. I'm looking for an answer and I cannot come up with an answer. And I'm thinking, where are you guys? I wish you could write for me and I wish I could come up with an answer easily, like Avasarala does every time. But I guess, yeah, that I would miss the writers and their writings. Yeah.
Before I run out of time, the reviews on Arcane have been like huge. Everyone has just been raving about it. Can you sort of talk about what drew you to doing some work on that and what you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. I had no idea that, again, Arcane was going to end up like this. It was a game when I joined, and I love doing games for the fact that I don't have to put on a makeup or, change my clothes. I go in with a ponytail, no makeup, and I act. The thing that I love to do ever since I was 5 years old. I get into that room and I get to act like Shylock or Watanabe, the Admiral and this, and I really enjoy this. So it was a game. But then I was told that I'm going to talk to two audiences. One is the audience that would watch it as an animation. The other one, the players or the guardians that are playing the game. And I was so happy. But when I watched it, I loved it. It reminded me of when this genre called hyperrealism started in paintings and pop sort of art. It's very, very realistic. It's really like hyperrealism sort of take on this animation, which I loved. And yeah, it's incredible how great it's doing.
100%. I got to stop there. I'm just going to say, seriously, I really loved your work in this role. Thank you for giving me your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.